So my question is, so who should we help and what is the limit or what is the scale?
It's a very good question to ask. That is also something that we spoke about in the sohbat after the Jummah khutbah. When somebody was asking the question of love, and I say, what you mean by love? Who you are loving, why you are loving, when you are doing it, how you are doing it. Very important. If you are not understanding why, you end up loving the wrong people for the wrong reasons. What you think is a strong feeling, that's not love also. So, we are in tariqat to come nearer to the Prophet, alayhi wassalam, to come nearer to Allah. This tariqat is a tariqat of the Sahabis to the Prophet. As our Grand Shaykh, Imam Rabbani is saying, the Nakshibendi way. I had a question yesterday, on Thursday, saying why we are not concentrating on mystical things. We're not concentrating, it is there. We know how many miracles our Shaykh can perform that we see. We know how very special he is. Certain things are open to us. But we are not concentrating on that. Why are we not concentrating on that? Because it's the highest tariqat. You see, they say tasawwuf is divided into two. One is the way of wilayat, wali, to become the friend of Allah. You understand? And walis, they will perform miracles. Awliyas. And then there is the way of nubuwat, what the prophets they are bringing. Prophets, they have miracles also, but everything that they are doing, it is to turn the heart of the nation away from idol worshipping, people worshipping, this dunya, back to Mawla. That is the most difficult thing to do. It's very difficult. Don't you see Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, how many miracles he performed? Correct? One of the greatest prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he split the sea. Right in front of their eyes, not only he split the sea, but he made sure that there is a lane, special lane for each of the tribe of the Bani Israel, 12, special. He was bringing in manna and salwa, food from the paradise, to his people who were starving. He was speaking directly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Directly, not directly. It's through a tree, through a bush. So many open miracles he has, yet what happened to his nation? That time and today. Yet what happened? They were experiencing the miracle because they were chased by Firaun and his troops behind them. And they were crossing into the sea. And they were going to go to the other side in safety. When they were crossing, the Firaun's troops, it came closer to them. They panicked. They lost their faith. And they say, oh, we should have never listened to you. They started cursing at their prophet, saying, look what's going to happen to us now. They are catching up on us now. We're all going to be like slaves again. Same thing happened. They were eating manna and salwa from paradise. How are you going to describe manna and salwa? You don't know? How you say, German?
It's a type of sweets.
Let's say, good. It's a type of sweets. And what?
Chicken was the pilgrim.
Not chicken.
I said.
It's not puck coming down. Chicken. Okay. Interesting. You see? Now the Dergah, we are growing that now, Buldarjin. the quail, the small one, quail. How you say quail in Arabic? Salwa. I know. How you say quail in Pakistani? Urdu. Huh? Oh ho ho. Yeah, Zindabad. Yeah. They were eating that Allah is sending, and they were like, what, no onions? This is the condition of mankind. Allah delivered them from slavery. Hundreds of years slaves. They were slaves. Give them freedom. But they were still slaves to the ego. Physically they are free, but they were still slaves to the ego. And they were saying, whatever we were suffering, it is better than sitting here having something new that we don't know. This is human condition, correct? So many people, they are suffering, and we say, come out from there. Well, how do I know you're going to help me? You trust the doctor, but you're not going to trust someone to say, come out from there. You're going to come to safety. Some people, they're already clean, but more and more, they're bringing themselves down into dirtiness. Good, you're going to come to dirtiness, they're going to finish you if you don't wake up. So they're saying, where's the scallions? Where's the lentils? Where's the beans? Where's this? They're looking for food of this, or not only food of the world, because they're eating food of the paradise, they're looking for the food that the slaves were eating. They cannot get themselves out from that understanding. So, right in this middle of crossing the Red Sea, they start cursing at their prophet. Some of them turn back. You understand? They're witnessing all these miracles. So what is the miracle? What is that miracle that is happening? That miracle, do you understand how much credit if that miracle, that saint or that prophet has to show to convince people? There are miracles that happens because it is just natural, just like that. You understand? There are miracles that happen that they have to show it to prove so that it turns people's hearts. They are different. The second type, it is a very big risk. It is a gamble that the awliyas and the anbiyas that they are doing is a gamble, because they can show, but if people are not believing, there is the last call, last phase. That's it, finish. They still don't believe, their hearts will become 1,000 times more hard than that. Mystical knowledge. Look what happened to the Bani Israel. Look what happened to the people of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. His uncle came to him, holding something in his hand, put it behind his hand. He came and he says, you're saying that you are a prophet? Tell me what is behind my hand. What is inside my hand? He was hiding it. And the Prophet ﷺ just shaking his head like that. And he says, why don't you turn around, open your hand, and listen to what those rocks in your hand that they are saying. They turn around, that one turn around, open his hands, and the rocks are saying, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. What did that one do? Did his heart become turning to follow the Prophet? He dropped the stones. And he says, you are a big magician. No. So, there are miracles that is given, that is shown, and it takes a lot of credit. Credit. Everything comes with a credit. Nothing is for free. And for that saint, especially to show that miracle just to prove himself, he used up a lot of credit. For what? Especially people today. Miracle? They're seeing miracles every day. They don't understand it as a miracle. Everything that is technological, it is more than their minds can even imagine. Correct or no? What? Walking on water, there are already people doing that. Flying in the air, they're doing that on the street. You're seeing it. People are seeing it. Does that mean that they're coming from Allah? If anything, those people that are doing now is coming from Shaitan, coming from Dajjal. Correct or no? Look at all the televisions that they're showing all these supernatural kinds of things. Are they all representing Haqq? No, they're mostly representing Batil. From the Dracula to the zombie to the this and that. And so many times they're showing all these things and it's making the young people especially to be very attracted to them. They put Allah away, like Allah doesn't exist. Only vampires and werewolves exist. And they make it very attractive and people are attracted to them. This is what Dajjal is coming to bring. People are still not understanding. Which is why there is no permission. Not because it doesn't exist, there is just no permission. Because if all the bad ones are going to take from that knowledge and going to twist it, why are we going to fight against them to do the same thing? We say, no, we're going to do something else. I still remember Shaykh Efendi, when we were greeting Shaykh Maulana, first time I believe that we were greeting him JFK, we came with a few people, his crew. Everyone was in front, we're sitting in the back, just sitting, standing there, looking very cool. And Shaykh Efendi was like, when they run, we walk. If they walk, it says we fly. So the people of Haqq, they don't have to imitate no one. No one. Because they're putting the prophets in front of them. And the prophets, they don't imitate anyone. They're taking directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now, in the story, I was saying also this afternoon, who are you loving? Why are you loving? Anyone asking that? You understanding what it is? Nuh alayhi salam, he loved his son so much. He was trying to save his son. The water was already rising from the earth. Water was already coming down from the heavens. Everywhere water was coming. And that water is a very special water. That water is a water of azab. It is not regular water. That water is like acid. It burns. And all that water, when the flood came down, it just comes down into that area today that is known as the Black Sea. Okay? That area is a very terrifying, special area that from the leftovers of the waters of the flood of Nuh alayhi salam, which in the last days that is going to bubble up also. So he was saying to his son, he was in the ship and he's saying, my son, come. Don't you see? As I said, punishment is reaching. He says, what are you talking about, father? It's just a little bit of rain, just some flooding. I'm going to go to higher ground. Meaning they're still using their intelligence. In the khutbah, we're quoting from Shaykh Efendi saying that those things happened suddenly. It was a nice day, normal, regular day. Suddenly everything turns upside down. But for a believer, it is not sudden. For a believer, there's always warning. They're seeing. For the one who is an unbeliever, even if they see the sun rising from the west, they say, it's just optical illusion, it's just this. They have so much hope in their own selves. And Allah saying to that prophet, saying, Ya Nuh, he is your son, he is also our creature. He is your son, you love him, but he is our creature. If you call out to him one more time, I will strip away prophethood from you. He is the second Adam. So knowing who to love, knowing who to help, this is another marifat in these days. So many people, they want to help, yes. So many people, they want to help, saying, oh, come help masjid, come help masjid, come help masjid. 24 hours, come help masjid. You're not helping masjid. Same masjid you've seen for 20, 30 years. Same broken roof, same floor, same basement, same thing, same that. Say nothing is improving, but they're collecting millions. There's a place in New Jersey I can show you. Millions they collect every day. But you see, still the same like container that they put over there. You know which one I'm talking about? Yeah? Shaykhul Islam. You want to carry the burden? You think I don't know the name? I'm just asking you if you know. We don't mention names. Not necessary. Now you're making him to be a bit comfortable on the other side. You're carrying something from me. Have to be careful. Right, Kashmiri? So, collecting millions, still the same. Because people want to help, Muslims especially want to help. I don't see any person in any religion that they fear that they don't have enough of their faith. No Christian ever says, oh, I think I lost my faith. I want to have more faith. I don't think it's good enough. But Muslims are very afraid of losing their faith. I don't see any Hindu, any Buddhist, nothing. So Muslims are going to do things that is going to increase in their faith. They put a box over there. They say this is to help the orphans. Okay. Everyone putting the money in there. At the end of the day, which orphans they help? Allahu Alam. They're putting another box there. They say going to help Syria. Is it reaching there? Allahu Alam. Putting every box, because so many things are happening to Muslims all over the world. No? Yeah. Am I saying don't help? Help. But if you want to be careful, you should be careful. Because you don't know where it is reaching. So now to know who to help, it is samarifat in these days. Sometimes you think you are helping, but you are making things worse. Sometimes you think you're making things worse, but in the reality that you are helping. What is the limit? Who to help? When to help? How to help? You have a Shaykh, ask him. Finish. You're looking, sometimes people are good, like he's looking, he's trying to help, he's seeing, for example, one person. Let me say one real example. Bilal. I love Bilal, everybody loves Bilal. Allah loves Bilal and the Prophet loves Bilal. If you don't love Bilal, you must be something wrong in your faith. Okay? We used to live outside in the gypsy neighborhood. Everyone has a small section. Bilal's section was there, it was very stinky because he's from the barn. He puts all his things there, everything is piling out. You remember? Right? And we were looking at Bilal, Bilal wearing the same clothes, Allah Allah. He's a dervish, Allah Allah. So they brought all their clothes, they gave it to him. Then another person gave, another person gave. And we look, Bilal still wearing the same clothes, but inside he has 7 bags filled with clothes. That is there. And that's a joke. I laugh. I say it to his face. That's why I'm saying it now. Everybody thinks they're helping. This is a small example. Everybody thinks Bilal doesn't have clothes. Let me give him. Oh, thank you, mashallah, mashallah, thank you. He loves you so much. Mashallah, 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 mashallah. He wear one time, he put it over there. Now it's piling up. The one who is sitting high, he has view of everything. Then he can tell you, that one looks as if he needs help. Not really. That one looks as if he doesn't need help. Go to him. They start directing. They start leading. This is what people in leadership, they must do. People in leadership doesn't mean just because I have that title, just because I'm the oldest, just because I have the most money. No, you're supposed to know how to help. Now it's not enough just helping. You have to know how to help. And you have to be responsible. So you want to help this one? I say, don't. No. Yes, but this one, nothing is going to change too much. This one doesn't want to be helped. There are a lot of people who are like that. They don't want to be helped. Okay? There are some people that they are really in need of help. You say, you come up with an idea. You say, I want to help some people in other countries. I say, Good. Do that. It's coming to your heart to do that. It says, yes, do it. You have permission. Because now, when we help also, we're not going to help the American style way. Just cut a check. You understand? Send through the mail. It's different. That's not caring. What are we doing here? For years, what are we doing here? We're meeting here every week. We're seeing each other every week. Our children are growing up in front of our eyes. We're not going anywhere Friday nights. So this is just the beginning. What we want to be eventually is what we have upstate. What is it upstate? It is a village. They're seeing each other, they can see each other every day. There's a lot of things they have to improve. There's a lot of things you have to learn now how to live in a village too. In a village, you cannot really say, this is mine and this is yours, correct or no? In the village now you have to learn how to share. You have to take care. You have to learn how to understand what is happening. Because now living in America, in the American way, most of us, we're so caught up, okay, very good, we close our door, boom, that's it. We close our door and we don't care about other people. Until we meet them again a little bit. There is no caring. I was talking to Murat the other day. You know, the Bosnian Murat. He went through the Bosnian War that they just did their 25th year anniversary, I believe, a few weeks ago. And he was saying when he first came to America, he was just 16 years old. He didn't know a single word of English. And first they stay in this like apartment complex. He was laughing. He was telling me they used to call it Sadaka City because the people there, they're very poor and people are just giving them sadaqah. He said, but living in there with all those people from Bosnia, he says, it was one of the best times in my life. Because what were they doing? They're living in apartment complexes, but from this flat to the other flat, they were like, oh, what are you doing today? I'm going to cook. Later, come to my house. Okay. They were shouting. They were playing with each other. They were joking. They were visiting each other's houses. They were looking to see what is. And he says there were some Americans living there, those redneck kinds, and they were looking and they were getting so scared. Because these poor people, they are happy. And they are confident. And they like to be with each other. They like to be with each other. There's the thing. This is what a village is. But we lost that because we live in here and there is no equivalent here. There is no equivalent. Even if you have somewhere, somehow somewhere in a village somewhere, maybe in America, it's completely different. Because they don't have Islam, they're going to say this is us and this is you. Muslims is different. Muslims, this is us. Oh, you're different? Come, sit down. I don't know you. It doesn't matter, come, sit down. Correct? Especially in the Ottoman way, in the Turkish way. When I was living in Harlem, we had a small section. There's outside, and there's a patio outside, people walking back and forth. That time I was there, was sitting there. And I had one person, one crazy murid of Shaykh Effendi's. He used to sit outside, he used to see people, greeting them randomly, like that. Because to us as Muslims, it's very normal. If you meet another believer, you don't give salams, what are you, munafiq? You understand? And African people passing by and say, come, sit. And he brought him inside the house, poured tea for them, talked to them 5-10 minutes. Okay, they left. Those kinds of things, to invite a stranger into your house just like that, fresh off the streets like that, in Harlem. You understand? You think it's crazy, but it is part of our tradition, which we lost. We may pray 5 times a day. We may do everything good Islamically, but we lost this spirit. Yes, we have this. We're trying to do this once a week. There's not much that we can do. It's something. Shaykh Effendi established something upstate. Yes, it is more we're putting in. People are starting to feel more the spirit of Islam coming back. But still, there's many things that we should improve. You're following the Prophet, this is how Prophet lived. You're following the Sahabi Kiram, this is how Sahabi Kiram they're living? No. That's how They can die for each other because they know each other, they trust each other, and they love each other. They love each other although they are not the same. They love each other although they don't really like each other. They love each other although they're very different from each other. They love each other for the sake of Allah. And Allah is saying, those people who love each other only for my sake, not because they are related, not because there's business, not because of anything, only for my sake. It says, on the day of judgment, I will raise them on pillars of light, that even the prophets, they're going to get shocked, thinking that these are prophets. So the zikr and the sohbah and everything, if it is not turning us, our spirit to become like that, it is lacking. You understand? So, when you know your family, when you know your neighbors, you understand and you want to help, and that time you can help properly. When you don't know, but you just feel that you want to help, Shaitan can kidnap that, can hijack that good intention, and you can start doing wrong things. At the same time, you see someone begging on the street, homeless person on the street, asking you for money, give something. Doesn't matter. You say, oh, if you give, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. What, we are angels? Every cent that Allah is giving to us, we're using it in the way of Allah? He's using it for the ego. What, we never use Allah's risk that He sent to us for our ego? We do that too, not for us to judge. Our responsibility is to give. Allah gives. Allah is not saying, what are you, Muslim? Okay, give. What are you, Christian? Don't give. What are you, Jew? Don't give. What are you, unbeliever? Don't give. The same sun shines on the saint and on the murderer. So to understand that, it is important. Because so many times we're also reading all these stories of how the Sahabis, they gave everything to the Prophet, how they left everything, and we get so charged by that we want to do, but we don't know how to do it. This is also one of the tricks. Now, why we don't know how to do it? Why it is difficult? Because there is no connection between us and that time, between us and those Mubarak people. So you have to find the connection. Once you find the connection, you say, oh, okay, this is as much as I can give. This is how you give. It's not necessary for this. Because so many people thinking to become a good Muslim, first you have to have zuhud. First you have to deny yourself of everything. You have to give everything away. You have to live very humble, very poor like that. When you have a shaykh, as when you have a mujtahid, the one who is going to show you the religion, he is going to balance so many things. He's just not going to take something and give it to you just like that. He's going to see what you can carry for now, what you can carry for the future. If it is zuhud, all the Yahudis in upstate, they're number one zuhud people. Correct? They wear the worst clothes, they drive the worst cars, but they're sitting on millions. So first, you have to learn how to fix the heart. To start caring a little bit. Like I said today also, it's easy to care for people that you like in the community. It's not that easy to care for someone that you don't like. You don't like, but someone is in need of something. And you're seeing that I can give, I can help. I'm sitting and I'm amazed. So many things. I say, why are people, why are they not? Well, those who are realizing, of course, there are exceptions. Of course, there are people who are running. That's different. But be careful. You may try to help even your own family members. Why are you helping? You're helping because someone is in need. That's not good enough reason also. You must help because you do it for the sake of Allah. Is that one using it for the sake of Allah? Is that one doing it for the sake of Islam? Is that one running for the sunnah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ? Pakistanis, they're very smart. They say, zakat, well, we should give our zakat first to who? To our relatives, to our own families. They become Yahudis. If anything, the zakat and your sadaqah first you should give to who? Those who are not related to you, those who don't have any relations. Who are those? The yatims. Correct? Well, I say, no. First you have to help your family. That is, and they take from this hadith, they put things together. They say, first you have to help the people around you. So, for your zakat and your sadaqah, first you have to give to your own family and relatives. And then later, if there's anything, you have to give outside. What do you think Islam was going to be if it started off like that? If anything, the Sahabe-Kiram, they were not giving to their families. Although their families need it, they don't give to their families, they give to outside. This is the sunnah of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, that the whole Hanafi mazhab is following. That way, specifically also. They say, my family needs it. No. If I give it to my family, I'm showing favoritism. This is how Islam was. This is what Ahlul Bayt is. They say, no, Allah will give. Our responsibility is not to help each other, but to help the Ummah. This is the character of Ahlul Bayt. This is the character of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq. And all those other ones, they say their own children, their own wives, they are starving, but they give to other people. You see? Very weird, right? These days they turn everything upside down like that. So some, they have very good intentions, they want to help. Then pretty soon they discover, I'm trying to help. People say, for example, they're trying to build a masjid. I say, oh, very good. Some people, they want to help. And then later they discover, say, oh, who is it? These ones. What are they standing for? What is their intention? What is their motivation? What is their drive? What is their mission? You're saying it is falling short of what they say it is. So many times it happens like that. And Muslims, yes, Muslims are generous. They want to give. Why is Muslims generous? Because it is part of our faith. So I'm saying I want to help my family members. They're saying there's no barakat that is coming. Because everything that you do for the sake of Allah, especially in terms of charity, 7 times to 70 times to 700,000 times it will give back to you. But be very careful. All these things, they have conditions also. The one who gives and say, I gave you. The one who gives and say, remember, last year, I gave you. The one who does that, not too much. What the right hand gives, the left hand must not know. We lost all these traditions. This is the spirit of Islam. We have the shell. Now it is very common in masjids, just like Christians. In masjid, usually, no one says how much they put. No one put their name there, correct or no? Because to say that this is, you lose all the blessings because you're showing off. You're telling people, I'm a generous one. That is against the spirit of giving charity. Christians, they do it. You enter into the church, you see, oh, this glass window donated by such family. This Buddha, this statue by this family. So that everyone going there, oh. Now masjids are doing the same thing. Following traditions of Christians. Same thing. Why? Why are you showing to people? This is against the sunnah. I remember when I was young, I don't know, maybe when I was young, they give us some piece of paper and they say, we are going to collect some money, people saying this is for orphan something, and then they're going to write their names, and then they're going to give 50 cents, 25 cents, something. They give their name there. I used to go there, people are collecting and giving there, writing how much they give. And so many of them, they just write Abdullah. They don't even write their names there. This is a very delicate point when it comes to risk and blessings that's coming from Allah. When Allah gives us the risk, does it come with any condition? No. And He gives it to us. Does He say, I'm giving it to you? No. Mankind, we have lost it. Muslims, we have lost it. I entered to so many masjids. They actually even have a board that says, this one paid 5,000, this one paid 4,000, this one paid 3,500, this one, putting everything there. I said, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So we are rushing now to follow the traditions of the Jews and the Christians. That's why we lost. Jews and the Christians, they lost. They have the shell maybe, but they don't have the spirit. Muslims following like that. So, important to have a guide. To be good, you must have a guide. If you want to be good, you don't have a guide, you will go bad very quickly. Because every time you want to move one step in the way of Allah, there are 70 shaitans in front of you, waiting to sabotage you. In the way of Allah, to do something good, shaitans are waiting for you. May Allah forgive us, inshallah, and keep us in safety, and bless us and bless the risk that He's sending, and make us to become trustworthy ones, to be able to hold that amanat properly, and to be able to give it properly, not to let it to sit in our hearts, inshallah, and not to let it to become something that is going to bother us in the way of worship. May Allah forgive me and bless you. Al-Fatiha.